Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Thanks a lot for coming by the channel once again to check out another video for Captain Tsubasa Dream Team. Right here with your homie Nike. The homie Nako likes to game. Now, it's been a minute since I've actually recorded a Captain Tsubasa video in English. But I felt that with the big update that just happened right now, I've seen a lot of questions in Facebook, both in English and in Spanish, that I felt I needed to address or wanted to address just to be able to help you guys out. Rather than spending all this time trying to reply to everybody, because everybody seems to be asking the same questions over and over. So I wanted to give a slight explanation as to how the new Manabu tokens or medals, whatever you want to call them, and how they work. Okay, before we go on, just don't forget, go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, come back for more if you want to see more of these videos in English. At some point I felt like maybe you did not want to, but if you do, you know, I want to go ahead and alternate between English and Spanish. I did start off as primarily English, but then I kind of, like, you know, slowly went full Spanish. But if you still want to see more videos like this and you prefer in English, let me know, please, in the comments below. Now let's go ahead and get started. So the Manabu tokens and the medals are something new that were introduced to the game, and this is a way that's going to allow you to maybe not necessarily boundary break even further, because the boundary break is still going to be limited to 4 levels. However, now you get additional bonuses for each level of boundary break that you get. And I'm not talking about just the additional stat boost that you get from limit breaking players, but additional stats that are added on top of as like a reward or compensation for boundary breaking your players further. Okay, and what the Manabu does is that it replaces the Tamatsu. Is it Ide? The Tamatsu tokens that are used to boundary break without using a duplicate card. This allows you to use not a duplicate card, but rather a card of the same character name plus a Manabu to boundary break it. If you use a card that's already boundary broken to level 4, it will give your current player 2 levels of boundary break. If you use a player that's at level 3, then you will only get 1 level of boundary break. Okay, now this is important because in some cases, if you're patient, I know that I have, like for Richard, I have a card of the gacha blue one that's at level 3. I much rather would wait and hope that I get 1 more duplicate card so I get it at level 4. So that 1, I only use 1 Manabu, and 2, it will allow me to have 2 levels of boundary break as opposed to just 1, which will in turn allow me to only have to use 2 Tamatsu to get it up to level 4. Okay, now what do I mean by all of this? Well, let's go ahead and see right here, because what I want to do is increase the homie Misaki. Whoa. I want to increase the limit break level on the homie Misaki right here. Now, before we do that, I want to go ahead and show the differences in the stat boost that you get per level of boundary break. So we do 1 level of boundary break, we will see that right here you get an increase in excuse me, you get an increase in stamina. Okay, let's see, what were we at right here? Okay, 1221 is what we're starting off with, right? 1221, the stamina, and then we end up going to 1321, so we only get a 100 boost of stamina there. When we add a second level of boundary break, you'll notice that right here the stats changed. So we still keep the 100 of the stamina that was done level 1. Level 2 will give you 1,200 on each one of the stats that you have here on the physical slot. So your speed, power, and technique. When you add a third level of boundary break, it will give you an additional 1,200 to that same physical slot, for a grand total of 2,400 points of stats increase to every single stat in the physical slot. So 2,400 to speed, 2,400 to power, and 2,400 to technique. Finally, the big reason why it's very important now to try and have all your players to boundary break 4, although just increasing your physical is not bad. If you can only reach up to boundary break 3 for the time being, is still okay. If you need a little bit of time though, if you can, try and invest your resources all the way to level 4, because at level 4 is when you also get an increase to both attack and defense across the board, 1,200 to each stat. So that will get you the grand total of 24 physical, 1,200 defense, 1,200 on attack for each one, by maxing it out to 4 levels of boundary break. Okay, now let's get on to the Manabus and how do they work. So in this case, we have Misaki that I want to get yes or yes to boundary break 4, but I do not want to use my Tamatsus. Now I have the option here to use this World Youth Misaki, which we all kind of waited for like a long time to see if he would get a rework or something like that, and it came out okay. It's not too bad, you know, TBH, not too bad I guess, but at the same time, alright, let me think about this one, because now that I think about it, I have not limit broken that one. This one I don't really care because you know, it doesn't have what's it called, oh, I did increase everything already. What am I talking about? Give me 1 second. And we're back. So okay, let me go with a different one. No, I have to use this just to show you. Nah, I'm just gonna go ahead and show you with Misaki. Okay, so let's go showcase how the Misakis works. Okay, sorry about that. I became a little hesitant all of a sudden, thinking like, well, what if I do want to? No, you know what, I know that I'm not gonna use this one. I know that I'm not gonna use this one. I did want to save the green golden duo one just in case of whatever, in case they ever gave him rework or whatever, but you know what, who cares at this point? Instead of waiting around, I want to enjoy the game for what it is now, not just continue to hold on to players to see, well, what if they change, blah blah blah. Again, going back to this blue World Youth Misaki, we all kind of waited around for a little while, and in the end, he's just okay. He's decent if you don't have any other Misaki, but in this case, I have what I feel is not the best Misaki, but the best Misaki for me and my team setup and the way I want to use him. Okay, the DC one is probably still better overall, but for how I want to use Misaki and what I need for my team, this one is the best one. So I'm going to go ahead and use this, and you're going to see that on here, for every one card that you use, it consumes 1 Manabu. And every time that you limit break a card all the way to level 4, you will get what's it called, that, oh, you know what, let me see what kind of techniques this one has. Man, I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing for this video. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and showcase how the Manabus work by using my Misaki here as an example. And no more hesitating, no more anything else, no more second thoughts. Yes or yes, we're going to bring them up to boundary break 4, and we will see the huge difference that it makes in increasing the stats. Right here, my most important ones are the dribble and the pass stat. I like the fact that it's going to increase my speed stat significantly and technique. So you know what, maybe let me focus on that. Speed, I'm going to say 11, technique 15, and we'll see what a difference it makes when we do that. Now, anytime that we're going to go ahead and use a Manabu card, anytime that we're going to use a card like this, again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be now the exact same card. It just has to be the same character, okay? So any Misaki card will do as long as it's an SSR gacha of any kind. And in this case, I'm going to sacrifice these two, because the other one, the red one with the World Youth, the JY, the red one with you know, rank A skills and stuff like that, that one has a special place in my heart because it's the one that I would use at the very beginning of the game. So I do not want to get rid of that one, just because it's special to me, that's all. Okay, so right here we see that there's two Manabus that will be consumed here because I am using 2 different cards. Each one is giving me 2 levels of boundary break. You know what, let me showcase that. I don't think I showcased that. So I'm going to use one that's at level 4. You see that's only going to give me 2. Now if you use a card that's at level 3, then it will only give you 1 level of boundary break to your current player. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and that. And here we go. It's worth it to me to sacrifice those cards because they're just sitting there right now. They're just sitting there. Okay, There we go. We make it to level 4. We get our Manabu back, one out of the 2 at least. I'm gonna go ahead and max out everything that I need to here. I still don't think I'll consider a shot, but maybe just in case of whatever, like last minute thing where, you know, since part of my strategy is to drain the goalkeepers with what's his face, Napoleon. In the occasion that I might need to take a shot to a against a goalkeeper that has a very low amount of stamina left, then, you know, I think this Misaki might be capable of scoring after all. So okay, I guess I'll consider a shot. And the one that I want to give him is the green cut shot. That I always love the animation on that one, so I'll consider adding that one in. But wow, look, my speed was only like about 11,000 something, and technique I think I said 14 or something like that. And as you see here, because of the limit break and the additional stats from reaching boundary break 4, huge increase, a big difference, significant difference. So yeah, it's worth it. Obviously, that's something they're going to be able to do with. It's going to be easiest to do this with all of the old player cards that have been around for a long time. Like Xavi, for example, is brand new to the game, so there's not any really other versions of him that you can use to in order to utilize Manabu to boundary break it. So you're gonna have to rely on Tamatsus. In some cases, like I wanted to show you this one, then just as I had mentioned that if you use a card with 4, we'll give you 2 levels. Right here I need 3 levels, right? So if I use this one, there goes my 2 levels. Okay, and this is what I'm gonna end up doing. I'm gonna end up using this card, and then I'm gonna use one Tamatsu. But if I didn't want to use a Tamatsu, I could use one of these instead. And there we go, we would complete the level 4. But I do not want to use a Dreamfest unit to get this one up to level 4. I don't mind sacrificing the gacha units like I did with Misaki, but in this case the Dreamfest units, I don't know if I want to do that completely. Okay, the other thing that I want to bring up regarding the Manabus is a special case that applies to only to only Ken Wakashimasu and to Ricardo Espadas. And what I mean by that is that, again, all that matters is that it's the same character card, not the same position. Okay, so as you can see here, I could use Wakashimasu the goalkeeper, or I could use Wakashimasu the forward to be able to increase this particular card by a boundary break. See, just because they're both Wakashimasu, so that does not matter. Okay, so that's how that applies to the goalkeepers. And now also when you're gonna boundary break a goalkeeper, your only options are pretty much either boundary break 1 or boundary break 4, because boundary break 2 and boundary break 3 will add absolutely nothing of value whatsoever to your goalkeeper. When you do a boundary break 1, the only increase that you get is an increase to stamina by 100, I believe it is. I don't think it's a percentage. I think it's total 3. Yeah, so you only get 100 additional stamina, which could make a difference. So if that's all you can do right now, then at least do boundary break 1. At least get yourself that extra stamina. Then when you get an opportunity, go ahead and use the next 3, because as you can see, go ahead and with boundary break 2. Oh, no, that's not true. I'm lying. Boundary break 1 gives you the stamina, but look, boundary break 2 also gives you an increase in physical. So I think boundary break 3 is the same thing. 9160 power. So I'm gonna go to boundary break 3. Now it's 10. Oh, okay. My bad, y'all. My bad. Boundary break 1, increase in stamina by 100. Boundary break 2, increase in physical by 1200. Boundary break 3, increase in physical by another 1200. And boundary break 4 will get you the increase of 1200 across the saving aspect, and all the other ones in physical. By this time you should have 2400 additional stats. So your goalkeeper, if you want it to be top notch, that should be your priority if you have a good goalkeeper already, and that should be the first unit that you should be bringing up to boundary break 4 if you have a top tier goalkeeper already. Now I want to ask you guys also to go ahead and check your inventory. there are some cards that I went ahead and leveled up from SSR to UR. And then I discovered something that I had forgotten about, or rediscovered, I should say. As you see here, this Aoi, I only have them at level 1, and that juggling dribbler I would get so many times, but I never increased them, never did anything with them. I just kept burning them into the mixer, I suppose. And then now that I have DF2 Aoi, or SDF Aoi, whatever you want to call them, I remembered about these medals. So I have that one card, and without having any additional copies, I happen to have these medals right here, which I will be able to bring up to level 4. This level 4 will allow me to boundary break my Aoi DF2 by 2 additional levels of boundary break. And as you see here, I get another Manabu back in return. And in this case, I didn't increase the stats. I did nothing with it whatsoever. All I did was level it up to UR so that I can go ahead and proceed to boundary break it from there. And now I can go ahead to my DF2 Aoi here and boundary break it like so. I don't know that I will be getting this one to level 4 because I got to see where I'm going to prioritize all of my Tamatsus. But for the meantime, at the very least, I did want to have them at level 2. Aside from the fact that I wanted to unlock the additional slots for skills, I wanted the increase in the stats as well. So, okay. So please go ahead, and now that you know a little bit more of how these things work, make sure that you do check your inventory. And now whenever you do go ahead and pull for players, then you should be kind of like okay with or happy with receiving a few dupes here and there. And don't just push them aside. Check them. Hyuga, right now I don't have DF2 Hyuga, or DF3 I should say. I did not pull them. The only one that I got was Aoi from that transfer. But I have one old, I think, the first Raiju shooter. I have him at level 4 and another one at level 3. So I have at least 3 levels of boundary break waiting for him there. So, look for them. Look for your inventory, okay? To see if anything pops out that'll be of use to you. And hopefully you do come across something that'll help you out so that you can save on some of your Tamatsus, all right? And I believe that's it. Hopefully I covered everything regarding how the Manabus work in terms of the stats and how you can use them, and like tips as to what you can do here and there. Some of the box players as well, I'm not going to showcase them here, but some of the box players are actually kind of all right, since a lot of us got a bunch of different ones that we can use. And this one, is one that I kind of want to have fun with or whatever. I do have the other 2 additional ones that I had not burned to bring this one up to level 4, but I'm gonna do it now, and then we'll see if I decide to use that debuff team or not. In the meantime, I'm probably gonna focus most of my resources on this team right here. I want to pull on the Natureza for the Brazil banner, but then that'll change up the entire makeup of this team as well. So I gotta see how that's gonna work out. But I didn't get a chance to pull for them the first time around, so I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. So wish me luck, everybody. I hope that this video answered your questions. I hope that you got some information out of it. And if you have any questions, please leave me any comments. Go ahead and ask away on the Facebook group, and I'll try and answer there as well. And don't forget, leave a like, subscribe, so I can bring you more content like this. And to know if you guys do want to see more of these videos in English, then I can go ahead and bring you some pool videos and some PvP hopefully in the near future. Yeah, practice kindness, be respectful, be responsible, be safe, take care of yourself and each other's. Peace and love, everybody. See you till the next one.